mode.
Hello and welcome to the RebelMouse for Brands Rebel webinar. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you learned some things today as we take you through a background of the website and how some amazing brands are using us today. To kick things off, what is RebelMouse? We like to break things up into three main buckets and explain how we are a real-time social publishing platform. We have a powerful suite of curation and editorial tools, and we also enable you to create native social ads. What you're seeing on the bottom here is what RebelMouse.com looks like if you are not logged in or signed up for a page yet. So right after this, we're hoping if you do not yet have a page, you'll be logged into one of your main social networks and you will set up a page and start playing around with what you can do via RebelMouse. Here is a sampling of some of our awesome case studies that are live to date. These are some of our partners who we've been working with on extensive projects that have really seen some great traction and use cases that I will show you live in action. Speaking to the first bucket, RebelMouse is a real-time turnkey publishing platform that lets you add a social layer to your CMS easily and without having to actually write up any lines of code. We also let you aggregate and curate social content and original content in an extremely visual way. And harking back to point one, you can embed easily with only a single line of code that you pull directly from your RebelMouse dashboard, and no tech or design resources are required to use this. This also empowers your social media and editorial team to have control over shaping what appears on your website via the RebelMouse backend, as again, this person does not need to have access to the code base or actually change your website itself. You merely need to make the changes via the RebelMouse backend. All RebelMouse pages are fully mobile web responsive, and we even have an Android and iOS app coming soon. We'll also show you how to create teaser modules that allow you to maintain a presence on the front page or another vital page within your web property that may grab more eyeballs than an individual page within the site that can be more of a full page experience for all of your content. And last but not least, you can monetize better with sponsored content units. To give you some background on our team over here at the Mouse, Paul Berry is our CEO and founder. He was the CTO at Huffington Post, where he ran product design and engineering and grew their amazing user base from the ground up to post-AOL acquisition. Our team here in New York is 7 people, but we have a team of awesome developers and designers that are over 30 strong worldwide. And our core team here in New York City comes from Google, Cloud, CNN, VaynerMedia, and obviously the Huffington Post. To give you a glimpse at our amazing investors and board, here is who we are working with to date. As you can see, it's everyone from Gary Vaynerchuk to Jonah Peretti from BuzzFeed to Howard Lindzen and Marcy Simon, as well as an amazing board of directors, including Eric Hippo and Ken Lear, who really work with us day to day, and it's been a great experience. Here is a collection of the publishers and editors that we've been working with so far. You can see a bunch of the logos we're really proud of at the bottom. This is not all-consuming. There are people we've worked with outside of this list, but this should give you a great idea. And up top, you can see a couple great examples of different ways that an embed can work for any publisher or brand. The one on the right is something that Men's Health did, where they had a call to action for their users to submit posts with the hashtag wrist game. And so the best watches, tattoos, and bracelets were pulled into this embed to highlight their reader style. On the left, you're seeing a great use of Vine for an embed. Fast Company used some of their own content that they gathered at South by Southwest just via an iPhone, as well as pulling in crowdsourced UGC content using the hashtag IUNY13 to pull in the best "What does innovation mean to me?" vines, and then those were then pulled in via the RebelMouse backend and displayed on Fast Company. And the response was really amazing to that. Tons of retweets and engagement on Twitter and the other social platforms around that piece. In addition to publishers, awesome brands, TV, and sports teams are also getting involved in RebelMouse, and we hope that will be used soon as well. One purpose of a RebelMouse embed for a brand could be a content hub, as you're seeing here from the GE.com website. GE was one of the first brands to utilize RebelMouse within their web presence, and what you're seeing here is a collection of their content across all of their social platforms and blogs. They do a really outstanding job of capturing their essence and voice in an extremely visual way across Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and blogs. And RebelMouse enabled them to pull that all into one spot to highlight what they're doing and really allow them to capture their identity. GE has a bit of a unique situation. They're a massive, massive brand that makes jet engines and appliances. And via their visual content, they've really made great strides in connecting with their audience. Here's another example of a visual social experience for brands via a RebelMouse embed. What you're looking at here is Sprout Baby Foods, and what they've done is pulled in their social content on the social page right on their website and included a great call to action right in the splash there that they have frozen. What they have asked their fans to do is submit pictures and hashtag it Sprout Sweetie, and that allows them to liven up the page with a juxtaposition of cute baby pictures, their own branded messaging that they're pushing, and product pictures, so that you're not just looking at the product and staid pictures all day. And we highly recommend doing something like a call to action to inspire people to submit user-generated content. It's our first pro tip of the day. And what's also great here is they're using the freeze functionality, which is something you can do with any post via your RebelMouse backend. I'll show you that live a bit deeper into the presentation. But that enables you to capture the images you choose above the fold and also let fan content and other social stuff flow in around the stuff you've chosen to freeze. Several sports teams have realized that they have an amazing fan base across their social networks, but didn't necessarily have that all captured and reflected in one place. So anyone can take a lesson from what the Sacramento Kings and the New York Jets are doing here with pulling their content into their web presence. Social TV is another massive area that we're finding some traction in and think there's a great opportunity to use RebelMouse to pull the amazing conversations going on Twitter, Facebook, and wherever else, and harness them on your website to be a part of a full fan experience. And as you can see here, the embed is all of a sudden green and yellow. We'll always work with you to make sure that your fonts and styling and everything blend fully with your website to create a unified experience. And now we jump to Fox Show the Following, which, as you can see, has a completely different look, matches the dark hints and background of the Kevin Bacon vehicle The Following, which is very different than Glee. It's very shocking and many episodes quite scary. And so what they have used RebelMouse for is to freeze this piece of content, in this case a vine, in their splash, inviting their fans to submit their reactions and hashtag them ShockCam. So what they did was pull in the fan response every Monday night when they air an especially shocking episode and have that juxtaposed with their messaging. So pro tip number 2, freeze a call to action in the main splash. And Fox really did a great job here realizing that there is this massive amount of conversation going on and that they wanted to harness it in some way. In this case, they'd actually reached out to us in the morning of the premiere airing, and we had the embed up by the episode that evening. So an example of how quickly and easily you can embed RebelMouse, as well as an example of how you can use the platform to post your own content alongside fan-gathered content. MTV has been using RebelMouse to accomplish a few different things. On the left, you're seeing a post that is a co-branded campaign with Pepsi as part of the Global Live for Now campaign. This is something that is live on both VH1 and MTV.com. And what they've done here is hosted content around a contest and presented that alongside fan conversation. So the RebelMouse embed is those blue modules on the bottom, and the stuff on top is owned by MTV and VH1.com. What you're seeing on the right is another use case where they use the embed to provide inside access to the MTV Movie Awards. All of the content being pulled into that page was Twitter handles for the host and other featured guests and presenters from the awards. So as you can see, there's a video from the after party that anyone who had not happened to be within that dance circle probably would not have seen, and absolutely would not have seen in real time straight from the party as this person posted the video that evening. In a case like Sharknado, where even Sci-Fi was surprised at the incredible response that the show received, this shows how quickly you can spin up a RebelMouse page and have it live on your site if a spontaneous burst of conversation happens. The page on the left is not an embed, it's an actual RebelMouse page with a custom header, a tool available to anyone via our dashboard. And we had actually spun that up ourselves internally when we saw the amazing response happening around Sharknado on Twitter. And we created the page, shot it over to Sci-Fi, and within about 15 minutes, they had a link in a teaser module live on the front page that drove fans to check out what everyone was saying about the movie on Twitter. RebelMouse also allows you to highlight and keep your best content. Again, jumping back to that freeze capability, what happened here was Time used RebelMouse to capture the amazing amount of conversation happening around their Time 100 issue and event in New York City. As you can see here, over 70,000 tweets. No one's going to take the time to comb through those individually, but they used the backend to edit and choose the best of the social media posts going on around Time 100, have those funnel to this embed live on Time 100. And then on top of that, they've frozen all the posts above the fold so that fans coming to their website would see the post they chose. And you can also see in this upper left-hand corner, there is a piece of content that is sponsored by Citi. This is one of our very first examples of sponsored content, and it is a way that you can monetize an embed or a social presence collection that you're displaying on your website. To get a little more nitty-gritty with you on how easy it is to embed RebelMouse in anywhere, what you're looking at here is a screenshot of the dashboard once you're logged into RebelMouse.com. And all you need to do is click that Embed tab and then the Generate button to the bottom to pull the single line of code that enables you to embed a RebelMouse page anywhere. You can add to any Tumblr, WordPress, or even Facebook tab. And you can power a full domain for any campaign. A couple examples are ESPN Next 2013 and ESPN Pre-Draft. Using RebelMouse enables you to really get a boost around your engagement, recirculation, and also track your performance. Here are a couple anecdotes about people who have seen amazing value from their embeds. And in order to measure that value, we provide analytics and insights in a couple different forms. You can click on the upper right of any individual post at any time to pull the stats per post, and you can toggle between if you want daily, hourly, monthly. And we also have Google Analytics integration for all powered sites. So why should you use RebelMouse? There are many reasons, but here are 3 core problems that we have identified. One is updating websites with fresh content can be time-consuming and costly. Integrating social is often done with clumsy widgets, and custom sponsorships can be extra tricky to integrate to an existing website CMS. Again, taking a jump into the RebelMouse dashboard, what you're looking at here is the Design tab, and we enable you to toggle between a collection of layouts depending on what content you're displaying on any given page. You'll see our 3rd pro tip here, use the larger modules on visually strong pages. Now, selecting that option will create very large displays of individual modules. So we recommend that in cases where you're dealing with really awesome imagery or want to call attention to several key content buckets. If you're doing something where you're pulling in a lot of fast-moving real-time tweets, we recommend you play around with perhaps one of the options more towards the left with just one splash, or perhaps what we call big middle, which is the column of large images all down the middle and a collection of smaller ones to the right and left. You can also select from a number of backgrounds here, as well as upload any custom background or font kit. We mentioned teaser modules earlier. Now what these let you do is, say you are working with a website with a number of pages and tabs, and there's a lot going on. You might not have access to more than a tiny 1 module sized amount of space on the front page. So RebelMouse to the rescue, we can create an embed that is the size of merely 1, 2, or 3 modules that then links back to a full page somewhere else to enable you to grab those eyeballs from the front page. And these are a couple examples that are live right now. Time 100 used a 1 module size teaser on the front page of Time 100. And then where it says see more reactions, as well as the header Time 100 on social, you can click on either of those spaces to bring you to that full page I showed you earlier. And to the right, Time Out New York is utilizing something called Editor's Picks, where they're choosing a few pieces of content to have in a right rail teaser on prominent pages within the website, and then those link back to a full page. If you would like to email your user base, we also enable Rebel alerts for those who desire them, where anyone can click to subscribe to a daily dish on your RebelMouse posts. Many of you might be asking, where's my money at? And that might be because online ads these days are quite an issue for many, as click-through rates are declining. Traditional ad campaigns can take months to plan, and then you sit and wait. You're also more likely to summit Mount Everest than click a banner ad. So if you're not that guy in this picture right here, I'm guessing you're probably not clicking on too many banner ads these days. Welcome, RebelAds. So our new product, RebelAds, offer a significant change to traditional advertising online. In buzzwordy jargon, RebelAds are real-time native social ads. And the purpose is that they enable you to reach the right person at the right time and deliver a clear message. You can easily turn your social content into real-time ads powered by your RebelMouse page. And then you can circulate RebelAds with top publishers. What you're looking at here is a sample RebelMouse page around a brand that is already bringing in all your content and assets. You can see several tabs across the top here, as well as a front page display of social content. Now what you're seeing is I hovered over the right-hand side of this post to make the toolbar appear, and we've designated the center splash to be the module that will transform your content into native real-time ads. So moving the piece of content from the right to the left will automatically transform any ad that you have arranged on a partner publisher into that piece of content in real time. And let's say that partner publisher was Vice. That action you just took of moving that piece of content into the splash would automatically change the ad into that piece of content. Now what that lets you do is not only easily serve your ads via a RebelMouse platform that anyone on your team can have access to, you can also edit headlines and play the headline game to react to cultural events or holidays or anything you so desire. And here's an early example of a Rebel ad on USA. The upper left post you're seeing there is a piece of social content that has been transformed into an ad within the USA editorial space within the website. There are also banner ads on that page, but what we're seeing is that click-throughs and engagement with pieces of content within the editorial space have a higher consumption rate and click-through rate than traditional banner ads. So the first steps for you today are to sign up for a RebelMouse page and start experimenting. Add all your social feeds via the Content and Feeds tab, move posts around, freeze your favorite posts, experiment with the Design tab, make your site your own. And then the next step would be integrating RebelMouse on your brand page itself, which would be pulling that embed code that we addressed earlier. A couple options. We suggest realtime.yourdomain.com or new.yourdomain.com or your personal domain. We also suggest considering powering your site, which removes some RebelMouse branding, provides you access to Google Analytics, full Typekit integration, Mailchimp integration, and is only $9.99 a month. So now we are going to dive into some live examples. So we cited several large businesses in the demo, and we often get questions about how small to mid-sized businesses can use RebelMouse. And here's an example of a company called Innate Family Chiropractic that has been doing a great job of putting RebelMouse right on their site to collect their fan testimonials and commentary. So there you go. And they're using one of those design layouts I mentioned earlier, the one all the way to the right, where it's really big images that will be embedded. And here is the Sprout page, live in action. So as you can see, this top part here enables them to maintain all of their tabs and web needs up top, as well as maintain a footer, while also having an infinite scroll within the embed. So all you need to do is click within here and you can keep scrolling. Patagonia is another brand utilizing RebelMouse to highlight their ambassadors. So all of this up top is just Patagonia, and then as you scroll down, each individual ambassador has an embed to give you a bit more insight into their lives and their adventures. Here is a teaser live and in action. Click through right there. And you can see the full page. And Time was able to freeze their favorite posts right here while letting content flow in underneath. Forbes used an embed around their coverage of South by Southwest. And this is something anyone can do where you see it's not merely social content. This also displays content around articles, schedules, and elsewhere can also be displayed. We've received many questions about the ability to place a RebelMouse embed as only a part of a page. So what you're seeing here is Candidly Nicole. It's an AOL.com show. So all of this up here is part of AOL.com, and then they have used this RebelMouse embed under the social section in order to include that social real-time conversation element right within the page. And then you can keep continuing on down to see additional content. GE.com is constantly updating this social page via having the feeds directly connected to the RebelMouse, and they don't have to send someone in to add all this content individually. And here is the USA social dashboard with that piece of sponsored content in this upper left spot. And as you can see, there are live banner ads as well. And then this shows you how this is right in the editorial well. Golf Digest is another good example of curating around a hashtag. They posted a call to action for fans and attendees to include content with the MyOSOpen hashtag, and we're able to curate around that. And here's a Fox Clee page live. So you can see footer and header maintained. And MTV, you see here, everything matches, color, font, design, and enable them to awesomely display some inside access right on MTV.com. And as you can see here, video plays right within the splash, lets you join right in the party. So that is a glimpse into the amazing things you can do using RebelMouse. If you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to reach out to early@rebelmouse.com, and we would be happy to follow up with any questions or needs that you may have. We're always here. We'd love to hear what people are doing with RebelMouse, any questions they have, and we look forward to mousing around with you. Thanks so much for joining today.